right, we're live, everybody. I'm Chris C., the Slasher Dude, joined by my cohort tonight, the awesome Agoraphobe, a.k.a. Keith, who is up for Horror YouTuber of the Month for April. I have the link to Dirk's channel in the info bar. I have a link to that episode. Go there. Go there. Great. Ninja is part of that. There's awesome nominees there. Go vote, man, and awesome horror community, and get the votes up, man, for these awesome people. I'm glad. I'm very happy Dirk won it. The dude deserves it. He does awesome stuff. Him and Darren over there, just very good. Got me into the genre we're going to talk about tonight a little bit from my favorite Italian. Yeah, my favorite Italian author of all. Really he is, and we're going to discuss that in a second. But something geeky, freaky. Something freaky in my collection, episode 1, where I've always been into horror since I was a kid, and I've been into Giallo for a few years. First, you can say the first kind of Italian film I ever saw was Dario Argento's remake of Suspiria. I remember that. They put that out on Amazon Prime. Watched that. I'm like, okay, this is an interesting cat here. So I checked out Deep Red. That's an all-timer for me. I've watched that film multiple times, and just getting into watching Dirk's Hour to Kill and stuff like that. He does with the Darren talking about these giallos from all these, just all these awesome other directors like the Lenzis and the Fulcis, of course, and the the Bavas, and just all this great stuff. And yeah, when we get talking about a film that we're going to introduce, like you could say a showcase and stuff like that, I love talking about this film. That's why I brought Keith onto here. I'm very happy that he was able to join me. How are you doing tonight, by the way, my friend?
Pretty good, man. Yeah, Dirk, he and I just pre-recorded my latest film discussion on a Clockwork Orange. So I'm currently now, and it'll probably be out by Friday night. Hopefully, be out by Friday night.
I have that film as part of the 3-film collection that they released on Blu-ray through Warner Brothers. I got that bad boy with the slip that has 2001, A Clockwork Orange, and of course The Shining, which is his all-time favorite film. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with any of those. But yeah,
it's got 3 films on it. 2001. Yeah. And as far as the horror tuber goes, I voted for Ninja, and Ninja voted for me. So you know what I mean.
How about that? Yeah. All works out. All good. Yeah. Just go back and forth with that. Ninja does great stuff over there. Badass Australian, happened to be named Jason, so I can picture him in a hockey mask doing his business. So
yeah, I always call him my Aussie brother from another mother.
Yeah, very good. So before we throw off the stacks a bit and stuff like that, me and Keith are going to be talking about. We've talked about this a little bit before. I think it's one of Lucio Fulci's. First off, this is a film by Lucio Fulci. My all-time favorite Italian director. He lived a fast life. He's the compulsive spender, kind of like what I am and stuff like that. But he died content with what he had. I know there's an interesting story with him and Argento kind of squashing the beef they had with each other for a little bit. But there's little instances the night he died and stuff like that But it is what it is with these Giallo directors and these Italian directors. You get Giallo films out of this. I always think to myself, does Dario go over to his grave and start just bullshitting with him on like what could have been and stuff? But great director. All the films I've watched from him, I like a lot. One of them is in one of my stacks tonight that I have not seen that I'll show off. So who knows, maybe that'll get picked. But basically, what we're talking about is Lucio Fulci's The Black Cat, based off the Edgar Allan Poe novel poem. That's the reverse cover. That's an awesome one. You can say it's a slasher. The way Stephen Thrower talks about it, he goes, more like Killer Cats films. Yes, please. I'll take it. It's a slasher with a cat, a very paranormal type of slasher. There's cool extras on this disc, by the way. The trailer shows a scene that was not put in the film. And discuss that. Basically, this film starts out with a car crash, so to speak. The black cat ends up in this person's car, just out of the blue. That's one thing I loved about Fulci. Just the shit just happens. It just happens. It just, you don't know where it's coming from.
You see the door cracked just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. he sees that it's typical Fulci gore and accidents and all this stuff too. And you see that, and then you happen to see the cat that happens to be on the roof all of a sudden going around. Did they ever name the cat in this film? Was it named Satan, or I'm just thinking that they just did that in Your Vice? Because I know in Your Vice is a locked room and only I have the key. The cat name was Satan, but I don't think they named it that.
I don't recall. No, I don't recall an actual name for it.
So Sean's in here. He'll be here in a little bit. What's up, Sean, my brother? Oh, I like the kind of new thumbnail there. That looks really nice. It's all red there with the Crypt Keeper instead of the black that he had. So it looks really good. Of course, Jamie's in here. Hi, Jamie. Yeah, thanks for stopping and saying hi. I appreciate that. Just talking great Fulci goreness and stuff like that. You know, you can almost say that Fulci 2 is the Italian version of Herschel Gordon Lewis. With the, of course, Blood Feast was done in 1963. I just watched the guys over in the Flesh Wound Features do some of his films and stuff like that. Very cool. Check out those guys as well. But yeah, The Black Cat is a good one. It starts out with that. Directed, of course, by Lucio Fulci. Music by Pino Donaggio. That's a good soundtrack this film has. Cinematography by Sergio Salvati, I believe. Yeah, like the camera angles, like the slasher perspective, as I call it. You know, Then it just goes off to this young couple on a boat going to this dock. They go in here. It's a great scene. They get locked in here. Kind of tell us about that, Keith. What do you think about that?
Oh man, that right there, and excuse me if there's any ladies in here, but you got the very pretty breasts of Daniela Doria in this, and
yes,
it's the only time you really get to see her quite like that, because you got her in House of that Cemetery. She gets stabbed through the back of the head and through the mouth, and you got City of the Living Dead where she's spitting up intestines. So it was nice to see this side of it.
I forget. Yeah, it's the same cast of characters. This, of course, stars Mimsy Farmer, Patrick McGee. I
love Patrick McGee.
What a performance by him. A creepy motherfucker who this has a gothic feel to it. Like only Fulci could kind of do with this. This is more gothic than Your Vice, but I like the ending of Your Vice a little bit more than this one, but that's here nor there. And Mimsy Farmer she plays this. She's like a news reporter, I think, or it's funny. She happens, and of course, David Warbeck, who is later in my all-time favorite Fulci film, The Beyond. Very good looking cat. Big dude.
Cliver's in this from Zombie too. Al Cliver plays the cop.
Yes, that's right. The cop. That's right. Because he comes in on a motorcycle. Yeah. After this event happens. So basically, this couple gets stuck in this place. It's a great scene. They get it gets really hot in there, and that's basically it. A lot of this stuff happens. Warbeck just goes in there on his motorcycle and stuff like that. He gets pulled over by the police officer. All this stuff happens.
He's just coming in to help him.
Yeah, just coming in to help him. This is like a typical Giallo aesthetic. This detective comes in there to help with whatever. We get introduced to Patrick McGee's character, who he's at a grave site, so he's kind of almost being like a demonologist and stuff. It's like he's trying to talk to the dead. Right, that's what's kind of crazy about this film. He kind of talks at first, right? You kind of don't know what's going on.
He's kind of at first you hear him, he's listening back to that tape, which is basically a bunch of sounds like a bunch of chanting, basically, and he just wants he's basically having this cat go around and do this shit for him, so that he'll have.
You don't know that at first. It's like because Mimsy Farmer happens to be in this film. I think that's where she gets introduced to Warbeck's character, or maybe before, where she happens to find an underground crypt, which is a kind of something straight out of City of the Living Dead, in my opinion. He tells her, don't go in there. I like Mimsy in this performance. She's always been pretty. Always been very pretty. Happens to, so the rumor is, her hairstyle and stuff like that looks eerie, similar to his ex-wife, I guess, but you know how that goes and stuff like that too. But very pretty lady. Good. I call her a Giallo queen. She's in that category. Me and Darren and Dirk plan on doing that 4 films on her. 4 good particular ones. One of them will be the Black Cat, and she goes in here, and then something happens. She ends up meeting McGee's character with a trippy scene in his house, this Gothic house. And just he tries to hypnotize her. Kind of tell us a little bit about that, Gord.
Yeah. He's just basically almost like a Bela Lugosi thing, where he's like, look into my eyes and listen to what I say.
Yes.
Type thing. And the cat breaks that shit up. You know what I mean? He's just like,
right. He scratches his hand, and she goes, she goes, what happened? Or what happened and stuff like that. And he says, so good. So haunting. He turns and he goes, the cat, he wants to kill me. Right? Yeah. It's like a game of literally cat and mouse. Forget the puns and stuff like that, but it's like back and forth. It's like, and
one day he will kill me.
Right, where it's like he's doing this. All right, we got the man here. What's going on, Sean?
Hey, what's up, guys? Just got in the door.
No, cool. All good. Oh, I like this. All red lighting in there. Perfect. Yeah, appreciate you joining. I know it came kind of short notice for you and a busy man. So.
Yeah, I wasn't like I was trying to figure out exactly what this was, like the topic. I wasn't exactly sure, but I could see it's definitely Giallo related.
Yeah.
So
I was kind of lost on it for a minute too. I messaged him back and it was like, okay, so I guess what I'm curious about is what exactly is it you need? What are we doing?
Yeah, I pulled like a few Giallos out of my collection, so I figured at least I got a head start there. But
yeah, no problem. Basically, what it was when I was talking to him, I know I can talk kind of fast and kind of get stuff confused. Just this is just a takeoff of what Gizmo was doing on his channel with something rotten in his collection. There, it's a lot bigger panel, of course, and they have a lot more stacks of films that they haven't seen. There on his channel, it's worth checking that out. It's a fun time. Love all those dudes there. They have like 5 stacks of 5 films that they haven't seen. They show each stack off, and then you have to pick which one from the stacks they have to watch that they haven't seen. Then they do the reviews of that in the next episode, then just rinse and repeat, And I'm thinking, I just try that here. Of course, shorten it down a lot, to 3. So I have two stacks of 5 for horror, and then 1 stack of 5 for Giallo. And I was telling Keith and tell you that too. A lot of you people will probably be shocked, and the people in chat will probably be shocked of what I have that I have not seen yet. And Gore, you mentioned you haven't seen 2001: A Space Odyssey yet. Is that correct?
Not all of it. I've seen probably 45 minutes to an hour of a movie that's a lot longer than that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we're just talking about, we just started talking about the Black Cat tonight. I know you and I have discussed this a little bit there, Sean. Just basically saying to me, it's like a paranormal type of a slasher. Like Stephen Thrower said on the extra here, more cat that kills people. Yes, please. I'll take that. We just got to the part basically where Mimsy Farmer is playing a Mimsy Farmer type of part, ends up meeting this dude, him trying to hypnotize her. The cat scratches his arm. The good gore and the good blood and stuff like that, too. He just happens to mention in his deep voice, the cat is trying to kill me. It's the game going back and forth between the two entities. You can tell he's paranoid, as in the story by Edgar Allan Poe, which is really dark as well. Of course it is. But there's these, this couple dies, and yeah, it's a body count type of a film, which I like. There's a scene that chases, I forget who it is. It's this one person that suspects him or something like that. The cat ends up getting him on a beam and stuff like that. He happens to walk across. There happens to be spikes down at the bottom, right? It's a good kill. He just drops and just like, oh, yeah, like that. There is that one scene too, which is, oh God, very interesting. I know Fulci didn't want to put it in here, but the producers and the film company did. And that's the scene with Mimsy in the bedroom, I think that she's at, and the bed starts going off. All this crazy shit starts happening. It's like an earthquake. the stuff gets like just going up off the ground and all this other stuff too. What did you gents think about that scene in general? Of like what they're trying to do there? It's kind of, this is very weird.
You seen a lot of that going on for about 8 to 10 years. You know what I mean? You had a lot of different little things like that paying homage to it. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
My favorite part though is going back to the cat opening the door, man. Is when he shuts it and a thing comes down and closes it. And
yeah.
fucking climbs up there and opens the fucking door. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I lost it. Man. I fucking lost it.
I like the way with the couple they described it. Like of who could have done this to this couple, right? They see, what is it, the grates open and stuff like that. So something got in there. It's like there's only one thing that could possibly get in there, some type of animal, and all this other stuff too. They're trying to figure it out. I like Warbeck as this part. David Warbeck is an interesting actor and stuff. He can I don't know, he could be like dull at first and stuff like that. Then he kind of picks it up a little bit. It's like with the Beyond and stuff like that too. He's kind of a trip. He kind of knows what goes on, but he doesn't, kind of like with this too. Him and Mimsy Farmer have an interesting relationship. They seem to just click automatically and all that other stuff too. There's that scene in the house with the woman where the house catches on fire, and it's very a la Don't Torture a Duckling, because she catches on fire and you see the mannequin thing just go around like this and out the window. It's so good. It's a great scene there.
You see a lot of those couples like that, like for instance in Deep Red, you know what I mean?
And he looks freaked out by that too. Yeah.
like with the couple, that comes together, like they meet. It's always either an investigator and a reporter, reporter and somebody that just came in from out of town, and it's the man and woman, and they always connect real good, just like they did that on like I was saying, Deep Red. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You thinking he was trying to kind of do that? There's been a lot of films too, and Stephen Thrower talks about that. That's a good extra on here. I was introduced to Stephen Thrower with a Perversion Story. Mondo Macabro released that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was introduced to him, because I didn't know who he was. And then that dude just knows everything about Fulci, and he has that book, which I have saved on my Amazon wish list. I'll buy that eventually on Fulci. This was just many of the interpretations of the Edgar Allan Poe story, The Black Cat. I seem to like films like this that are based off of that story, because it just seems to be so good. It might be his best. Everyone says maybe it's The Raven, House of Usher. I don't know. This one seems to be, because it has a lot to do with psychological stuff. Like, of course, it's not a writer that's doing this. It's like a paranormal demonologist type of person, so it's like, it's really, kind of different.
And out of all the titles of Black Cat, this actually has a cat that's doing the killing. It's not one behind a wall. It's not, what I mean, meowing and shit to give away the.
It's like a possessed spirit. Yeah, it's like a possessed spirit.
He just uses it as his tool. And,
as his tool, just to do this stuff through his eyes almost. It's you find that out, of course. It's like, because he uses hypnotism on it, he kind of doesn't explain it. Like, he's almost like in the dark arts and stuff like that, to where he's able to do that, where it kind of switches to him like talking to the dead to this, because he has all the radios, he has all this stuff in this gothic mansion.
Fulci was good about that. Fulci was good with not explaining everything. That's why I always tell people that criticize Fulci. You got to understand, Fulci is more of just like what me and Sean talked about. Fulci is more of an experience rather than, you know what I mean? You have to experience a Fulci film. You don't watch it, you experience it. And that takes care of everything else. You know what I mean? Don't expect every little detail. It's not like Kubrick. Kubrick doesn't tell you every detail of everything. You got to think about it. You know what I mean? You got to use your imagination.
And Patrick McGee was in Clockwork Orange. He was in that film too. So,
He was also in the original movie of Tales from the Crypt in the final story.
I have that double release from Scream Factory. That's very good. Talking a little bit. Let's get to the chat here. We got some people in here, so I'll just check. I said Jamie's in here. And yes, she does like them, so we have no issue there. Rob, what's going on, my man? Rob Romano, the Lost Boy. Coolest name on YouTube, man. It's all good. my boy Jeffrey. What's going on, Jeff? How you doing, my friend? Thanks for joining and saying hi. And of course, the horror YouTuber of the month of March, Dirk. Subjective Perspective Collective. Yeah, he's here. Very, very cool. Mr. Burrow is part of that huge, awesome tag team there. He's available tonight and very cool. Love to see him in the chat. Great stuff. Blissful, thanks for stopping by, Bliss. I appreciate that. Kind of check her on Dana's stream. She's in the Evil Dead Chicks channel a lot. Very cool person. Very, very, very cool stuff. And just Sean saying hi to everybody. It gets to the point too where she kind of finds out what's going on. And Fulcis was a good slow burn, as I call it, type of a person. Everything has a slow pace. The zombies have a slow pace. And the music picks up, it's a slow pace where she finds out about him or something like that. He hypnotizes her, does something, and then it's the slow. And he's done this 3 times. Or he's done this twice. He did this in The Psychic, I think, before this. He takes her, slowly puts her in the wall, shuts the wall, and it's just the thing where Warbeck's character and the police go there. It's pretty cool with that, where he try to kill the cat? He tries to kill the cat. I think he does.
Yeah.
He does. That's right, he does. And it works the same way as in your Vice. It works the same way where they find out where it's at because they hear the cat. So they hear the cat. And Warbeck does a great job where he kind of knows. He's like, whatever like that. He just goes against the wall. Warbeck goes up to him and stuff like that too. And he just kind of smiles and he's like going, looks like the cat got me. Looks like he finally caught me. Damn. It's
which he said he said that it would get him, but towards the beginning of the film, he said one day he's going to kill me. I mean, he made no bones about it.
Do you think this is? I think this is in kind of Fulci's universe in the Gates of Hell trilogy, because I think Zombie is part of that. I think Zombie is the first one, really. You can call it a quadrilogy if you want, because literally it's the same type of premise. This is almost the same type of premise. If you had the Exorcist type of scenes and stuff like that in there, and the off-the-wall greatness that he does with the fire and the mannequins, and he just does a good part with that. That woman that plays her, too, she's kind of crazy, too. Like with the frizzed up hair, I think it is, or something like that. She's kind of nutty with that. Yeah. She's like, none of y'all don't believe me, whatever like that. Goes into the house, big mansion house.
Yeah, this is made throughout his reign. This is 81.
Yeah, 81. Yeah, so.
And one thing I noticed on this is Pino Donaggio does the music, right? Well, if you listen to this real close, during certain parts of the music, you can hear Dress to Kill, and you can hear...
I didn't know that. That's right.
Just to Kill. You can hear the howling. You can hear music that sounds a lot alike from the 1980 Dress to Kill and the Howling.
And yeah,
next time you watch it, listen to that music.
Yeah, he had the same cast of characters that he was usually involved with until the late 80s and stuff. Everyone goes their separate ways and stuff, and you kind of see the difference there in the production and stuff like that too, because he had great co-producers. He had great people do great music, but and great sound effects for this. But it's really
well, he used a lot of the same screenwriters. Of course, he didn't use it for the screenplay for this one, but throughout this time, he was using a lot of the same people to write a screenplay, the same cinematographer.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. Yeah, David Warbeck plays Inspector Gorley from Scotland Yard. That goes. It's in Sleepy English Village. So yeah, they do the Edgar Allan Poe theme kind of better here in this village where these deaths happen and stuff like that. You figure out that his character, it's just really let's see if he says his name here. But like I say, it's Patrick's character and stuff like that, just going through his whims and stuff like that, saying, hey, look, I can do this. I can hypnotize this cat and go through the cat, right? Almost like astral projection and shit like that, and just take care of this stuff. So yeah, this is a great film. I really like this. This is up there for Fulci. I don't think it gets talked about enough. Well, what did you think about the film, Sean?
You know, I actually didn't see the Black Cat until this past summer because I lucked out and found the Arrow Blu-ray at a flea market, brand new, sealed, and I was like,
Dude.
I don't think I'm ever going to find this at a flea market again. And apparently, this is out of print. I think this is out of print, though.
Nice. Yeah.
Like, I'm not exactly sure if they were like, I don't know. It's like sometimes I see it going for stupid money, and then I see it going for like a fair price at like 20 or 25 bucks. But so far, I've only seen the film one time, but I was really surprised by it. And just based on the fact that it seems like nobody ever talks about it. And, you know, like what you mentioned how like this movie could fall into the Gates of Hell trilogy. I never really thought about that. And I really think just based on the atmosphere, it could.
Right, the mist and stuff like that, or the fog. You get fog in this.
Yeah.
Too. Like it's a really
and even just like the whole paranormal thing where like, you know, like the old head guy's going to the cemetery and he's putting those recording devices on the tombstones and trying to hear shit or whatever. Like that, just that aspect right there is like, is that going to get like, you know, like, are they really going to dive into the paranormal part, which they really don't, but just that's already interesting enough. But just after one watch really surprised me that more people don't talk about this film. Especially people that are already, you know, fans of, you know, the Zombie and City of the Living Dead and House by the Cemetery or whatever. But
for that release by Arrow, dude,
I've always talked to you about it, Sean. You know what I mean? I think I might have been one of the first ones that started to say, "Man, you got to get that. You got to see the Black Cat."
Yeah. Well, honestly, like you know what you mentioned in that, you're probably the only one that really reps the film. You know, like. I don't really hear anybody ever mention it, but so far, yeah, it's really just been you. It's really just you that really talks about it, that I know of.
His most underrated film, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that very easily. Like, you know, like...
Yeah. No, with this one, yeah, a lot of people, yeah, because like you say, Keith, nobody really talks about this one. They don't talk about a few of his films like ever, but they don't talk about this one. I don't think, like, to your point, a lot like ever and stuff like that. Like I say, Arrow's bringing out these 4Ks of his Gates of Hell stuff. Who knows? Maybe we get a box set of these. I don't mind a box set of that if Arrow UK at least is starting to get these films from him. Shit, why not? Put this in with Don't Torture a Duckling, whatever else, dude. Give us a 4K of that, we'd be set, you know. So it's
yeah, that's another one I still need to see is Don't Torture a Duckling. I haven't seen that yet, but you know, I one that I actually just picked up recently, but I used to have this one in my collection, but I always hated this movie. It just does nothing for me, but I found it for really cheap on Hamilton, and that's Enigma.
Oh, is that the DVD?
Like it was like $6 on Hamilton. I actually used to have this release, but it was like a one and done for me. I saw it and I was like, fuck this, dude. This movie's fucking slow as hell. No good kills in it, but it was cheap enough for me to want to go back and see it again. Like, I want to go back and see it again. And like, I still, there's plenty of other Fulci films I still haven't even gotten around to yet. So like, I still have some homework to do as far as catching up on Fulci films and really even Giallos in general.
Exactly. Yeah, it's me too. It's like there's a bunch of them out there, and just reading the books by Troy Howarth, or one of them that I have from him and stuff like that, and just this other stuff. And yeah, they're really all, as I believe, all Giallos are kind of proto slashers to begin with. Literally, almost all of them have a black glove killer in there where you don't see, you don't know who it is. You know, sometimes you'll get a body count, sometimes you don't, but there's still a stylish way of doing it. And
right.
Yeah, and this Arrow has great special features. Like I said, it has the interview with Stephen Thrower. It has, of course, Arrow always does a bang up job with these. So it's like it's definitely worth picking up if you haven't seen it yet, or find it on some streaming service. I highly suggest the Black Cat. It's definitely.
Yeah, I think it's anybody that's generally a fan of like Zombie and like, you know, his Gates of Hell trilogy, like that one's at least worth checking out. Whether or not it hits for people, if they like it or not, I think it's worth everyone's time. Like I could probably imagine that this movie, like the Black Cat, probably won't sit well with some people based on some aspects about it, but I was really surprised by it, and I'm actually due to go back and give it a rewatch.
Hell yeah, that's definitely true. What's your overall thoughts on the Black Cat there, Keith? I know you've talked about it a little bit here, but yeah, what's your overall thoughts of the film?
Oh, I love the Black Cat, and I hadn't really thought about it going with that trilogy until you mentioned it. But yeah, it goes with the whole, because with zombie, you start out with, it's like voodoo, and then it ends with the Black Cat, which is still a mind control. You know what I mean? It's all
They said that like the gates of hell have
so,
opened just literally for that.
Yeah.
With the Beyond, it's the same thing. Fulci kind of didn't want to do the whole zombie type of thing, the undead type of thing with that film. I know that, but that kind of steals the show at the film, specifically at the end. That's a quick plug. Of course, I'll always plug that film. I'm a huge mark for the Beyond. Just with Warbeck with the gun shooting, everything like that. That's good. That's great practical effects, by the way.
The gun's so loud too.
It is extremely loud. Yeah, that's the reverse
like
artwork.
Loud punching sound.
Yeah, it's a great
but a very fun Fulci film. You know what I mean? It's got a lot of fun to it. Like I said, you get to watch the cat open his door. It hangs on his thing until it finally pries it down and gets near to the guy, and then he goes off on the banister and it chases him and he falls off, and of course
it's like yeah.
on the shit where he impales himself. It's just fun. Yeah.
Dude, just mentioning that scene with the cat opening the door. I remember when I first watched it, I was like, how the fuck did they film this scene? It must have took them a couple times to get that cat on the door like that. And, to pry open that handle, like that must have took them quite a few times until they executed it right. But besides that, to me, it's a very suspenseful scene. Because you're like, all right, this cat's on the door. I have an idea. He's probably going to get it open, but what's going to happen next?
How's he going to do that? Yeah, when he just literally they had to train the heck out of that cat or do something.
Watch it real close. On this side of the handle that he's on, that's pushing this side up. He's eating.
He's eating. It's like the way they train them, right? They have to get the cat's attention. You have to get the cat's attention because cats can, whatever like that, and get just the right person for that. I'm sure during the credits they gave the actual cat's name. Who knows? They probably used extras for this film. But just the ending where you see the cat, just the way it started, him hopping the roofs of the houses, right? Sees everything. I forgot to mention that. Literally sees everything happening. So it's a great.
Those rooftop scenes are definitely like, wow. You got a cat up there, it's obviously it's in shot. Like it's just sometimes it just amazes me with films from that era when you have animals involved. Like I know you're not going to get it on the first shot, but eventually you're gonna, these guys know what they're doing. But it just amazes me because there's no computer graphics to fix anything, and it's just, what you see is what you get. But it just amazes me sometimes that these guys back in this era were able to film certain kinds of animals and just get what they need to get the film done.
Like they say, there is a scene, of course, in the film.
Wasn't enough money, you know what I mean? Those directors never worked with enough money to do any decent CGI anyway. So I'm glad they worked.
Yeah.
Like I was saying at the start, there's a trailer for the film that shows a scene of the couple that was not put in the film. They find the couple, whatever like that. But then you see another scene in the trailer where they look a little bit more decrepit and stuff like that too, where it shows them starting to do whatever. I'm like, dude, because it's like the teaser trailer sometimes can be different, but we know with Italian trailers like this, they go long. People talk about long trailers. No, you look at a trailer for a Giallo and you want to see something that's long. You watch that, and that doesn't give you everything. That's what I like about your point, Keith, where Fulci was like, oh, he's a mindfuck type of a director. He always was. It's like, dude, I ain't gonna tell you all shit. You can't do you're not gonna do nothing. I'm not gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Even the ending where that's the first one I saw with the whole woman in the wall type of a thing, because he does it slowly, right? Shows him doing it, right? Putting her in there, from the camera from that side with the brick being put on there and all this other stuff too. So good, so haunting. Right. But yeah, that's the Black Cat. Yeah, it's a 7. it's an 8. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. I like all of Fulci's films. This was I forgot when I started doing Fulci Fridays where I put this in on, but I do remember doing a stream a while back of my top 5 all-time Fulci films. That was a special stream. His birthday or whatever like that when he was born, when he passed, which was on the, I think it was this month. I think it was the 13th of March. I might be wrong because I know it was the 13th of the day that he passed, because I know he was diabetic, right? So it's one of those situations. But yeah, all great films.
Not long before he died, he actually started embracing a lot of his fame, and he started going to conventions and stuff like that, and he really got to see how loved he was by the fans, and that I thought that was really cool.
The Cat in the Brain has a special feature on that Grindhouse disc where he goes to one of those cons and he's there and stuff like that. I'm gonna need to check that out because I don't think they've never done a series where they've actually talked to him before, because I've never seen a doc where they actually talk to him, sit him down and like talk to him. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'd like to see that.
Yeah. I do think his very last one was in New York, and it was during a really bad blizzard.
Yeah.
And he was in there talking to a bunch of people. I think that might have been one of his very last ones, maybe his last one. I don't remember, but I know that was one of his last ones. So, and I guess he really soaked up how much the people loved his films and really come up to him and really took to him. I guess the whole place was full during a blizzard. So
yeah, exactly.
And I guess you could see the joy on his face.
Yeah. So. Great director. He actually has a boat. He had a boat named Perversion Story, I believe. You see that in The Cat in the Brain. That's a quick teaser for that. So that was really cool. I know that was one of his books. Hey, Russell, thanks for joining, my man. Russell Cole, you're awesome, dude. Great stuff. He has great knowledge too. Corey, thanks for showing, my friend. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Just talking the shit, and then I'm going to show off a bunch of shit that I haven't watched yet, and you all get to torture me and pick which ones I get to watch. So.
But yeah, you are right about Fulci passed away on March 13th, 1996. He was 68 years old.
God, yeah. Year before I graduated. Yeah.
Before we go ahead and jump into everything, I just want to mention, like, since we're talking about the Black Cat, like, as of late, like, I mean, I do enjoy multiple movies and stories with the Black Cat, but one that really sticks out for me, which really isn't a movie, but the Masters of Horror episode from Stuart Gordon, The Black Cat with Jeffrey Combs. This is so underrated, man. Jeffrey Combs as Edgar Allan Poe is just like, wow. It really,
animator?
His acting is so convincing. Like, I really feel like I'm watching Edgar. Like, I feel like somebody like reanimated him and brought him back to life and was like, all right, let's go, let's make a movie. But very, like, it's also very graphic episode too. I mean, it's only like 59 minutes or whatever, but since we're on that topic right now, the Black Cat, I just feel like this is definitely worth mentioning, is the Black Cat. And that's from season 2. This is episode 11, season 2. So I think that's the second to last episode, actually.
Very nice. Who produced that series?
I think it was Mick Garris was the creator. Garris, yeah, Mick Garris. Like, there is some other names in there which they don't look familiar to me.
Right.
But yeah, it's like, I know like the main guy was definitely Mick Garris. Like, he was really responsible for getting most of the directors involved. Like, he was the one to really sell the idea to filmmakers like Takashi Miike, there's so many different. There's even directors that done episodes for Masters of Horror that I never even heard of before.
Right. That is interesting about Jeffrey Combs he plays Herbert West because that's what the H.P. Lovecraft story is called. Herbert West, the Reanimator. So he plays an H.P. Lovecraft character, and then he can play an Edgar Allan Poe as himself and stuff like that. That's very
it's just like I just like seeing him as Edgar Allan Poe, and then it's like he goes from the sober Edgar Allan Poe to the drunk Edgar Allan Poe, and it's just the voice is down pat, his makeup is perfect, And then once, like, like the shit really starts taking off and he, ends up killing his wife, it just gets so graphic in certain scenes where it's like, holy fucking shit, dude.
That's very good. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to start these off real quick on my first stack here, 5 and stuff like that. Because like I said, since I have a good amount of people here in the chat, a lot of you all are going to be shocked here of what I have not seen. Mikey, thanks for joining me. Mikey's More. Check out his channel. Great shit. Great shit he does on there. Love Mikey's More.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary to Master of Puppets, by the way. Hell yes. All day for Master of Puppets. I do like Ride the Lightning a little bit more, but that's okay. It's all subjective with that awesome Metallica music. So yeah, great stuff. All right, so I have 5. So I'll start with my 2 stacks of 5 for horror. Then I'll get to the last stack of 5, which is Giallo, and then we can get the hell out of here. So I got Beyond the Door, double feature Bad Dreams and Visiting Hours, Dreamscape,
Good.
Bad Ronald, and Night School. What y'all do, just pick which one from this stack I'm going to watch.
Is there you haven't seen any of those?
I have not seen any of these.
I would say Beyond the Door or shit, maybe visiting. No, fuck it. We'll just go with Beyond the Door.
I think Beyond the Door is the only one I did see out of that whole stack.
Yeah.
Or Bad Ronald. You know what? I can't remember if I've seen Bad Ronald before. I know, like, I definitely had Beyond the Door. Like, I've seen that before. That's like the Exorcist ripoff or whatever. But
yes, it is.
I think everything else you have there.
Shock is
what's the one on the
unofficial Beyond the Door too, for what I hear. So that was.
What's that one you have on the top there with the red title at the very top? It looks like
Night School.
Night School.
Night School. Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen Night School before.
Visiting Hours. It stars Michael Ironside from Scanners.
Yes.
Yes.
And that'd be the double feature if I watch that one. So I'll watch Bad Dreams as well.
Yeah, you know what? I have seen Bad Dreams. That's a bit of a mixed bag, but if you're a fan of horror, it's worth seeing, especially in a double feature like that.
Yeah,
that's got the chick from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 in it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mikey says Night School. Darren says Visiting Hours. Russell's mentioning Visiting Hours.
I almost mentioned it too, Visiting Hours, just because of Michael Ironside. Because I love Ironside.
Okay, I'll go with Visiting Hours. Very good. All right. So take that out. This was the first double feature I got from Scream Factory. I have a few more now and stuff like that too, but I've heard good things about Visiting Hours. There used to be a YouTube channel I used to watch, and I heard Bad Dreams is kind of cultish type of a thing, from what I understand. So I can't wait to check that out. Okay. Stack number 2. So these are all Vinegar Syndrome and partner labels for horror. So I can't say this right. So Grave Robbers, Dimension Occultus.
That's Don't Panic, I think that is.
I think that's what it's originally called. Scared to Death. Night Ripper, which is shot on video, and Streets of Death, which is shot on video.
Yeah, I'm not too big on shot on video stuff, to be honest with you.
I will pick number 1.
You'll pick Grave Robbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I would go with that, I think, too, honestly.
Yeah.
I know I have, never mind. I got Cemetery of Terror, I think that is. Yeah, never mind.
Benicio the Horror Cholo loves Grave Robbers a lot. This is an early Vinegar Syndrome pickup for me, but yeah, Benicio the Horror Cholo just loves Grave Robbers. Okay. Grave Robbers We got a 3 from Jeffrey. Got 2 for Don't Panic.
I would go with Grave Robbers, though.
Okay.
Just because,
right.
like, I actually haven't seen it.
Do. And that's what I'll do after I watch these. Then we do another episode in like a couple of weeks or whatever amount of time. Then I'll just give my thoughts on it, review on it.
Yeah. I really like that. I like the idea of like what you're doing here, because like it's like for me personally, like it would motivate me to see these movies, because there is movies in my collection I haven't seen, and it's all about finding the motivation to finally sit down and watch
stuff like that. This is a cool slip. I don't know if you can get this slip anymore. Versus I've had this for a while, but it isn't really what the real picture of the film looks like, but
why not? Vincent slips go pretty good, man.
Yeah,
it's probably gone.
Yeah, I would assume that's probably gone, because that's not exactly. It's definitely not one of the newer releases.
Okay, and then last, but stick these guys I'm going to watch here. Last but not least, we got, and this is the Giallo stack of 5. Wanted to keep this simple. So from the Lindsay Baker set, So Sweet, So Perverse. Another Lindsay film, Eyeball.
Ooh, Eyeball.
I actually pulled that one out.
Sleepless.
Yo, Eyeball's so underrated. Really is.
The Red Queen kills 7 times.
Ooh, that's good too, man.
And A Lizard in a Woman's Skin by Lucio Fulcis. I told you. So
yeah, that's another one I still need to see. I still haven't seen A Lizard in a Woman's Skin.
So go ahead. You got to pick one.
I'm gonna go with Lizard.
Lizard?
Yeah.
I will go with shit. I will go with Eyeball.
Yeah, you got that slip. I hate you.
Dude, Eyeball is really good though. Like that's another one I pulled out before I jumped on here with you. I was like, all right, I gotta mention Lindsay's Eyeball. Like that's a really underrated one in my opinion. And I actually did a blind buy on that when I like, just based on artwork and everything, and the fact that I'm familiar with Lindsay's work, I was like, let's just do a blind buy, and I ended up liking it a lot.
I hated to pick anything but Fulci, but I have to go with Eyeball if you haven't seen it.
Okay. And what'd you pick, Sean?
Lizard in a Woman's Skin. I still haven't seen that one, but that's another one I really want to try to pick up and give it a watch eventually.
Mikey really likes Eyeball. John Doe really likes Eyeball. I had 2 for Sleepless. I know Sleepless is a masterpiece. That'll come up on the next episode. Y'all are going to make me wait for that shit, so it helps. So, yeah, I'll go for Eyeball. Perfect.
Yeah, Sleepless is definitely another good one. I feel like Argento really does a good job at utilizing the train in that movie.
Yeah, Max von Sydow is in that one too. And I have a Giallo Essentials set where I think the first one was it The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave. It's by the same director who did The Red Queen Kill 7 Times, so that may come up next time.
That's good. Too. That's good too, man.
So yeah, when I get to watch Eyeball, of course, like this, a lot of people. So what I do is I kind of say why, I got this to begin with and stuff like that. Really, because I've heard great things about this. I heard this is more of a slasher than it is a Giallo. And this is part of the Italian collection, which is 45. I know Gizmo, Video Man Gizmo, has the whole collection of these films. The Italian collection, I forget how many of them there are, but I think he has them all. But so a lot of people says this is Lenzi's kind of best Giallo film. I'll figure out. I love Berto Lenzi. He's great too. I love Cannibal Ferox. Grave Robbers. I remember just getting this off of Versus just because of the slip in general, dude. So it's like, it's and then during one of Pop's Movie Dungeon streams, they were going over their top Versus releases and stuff like that. Benicio mentioned this, and he says this is a great one and stuff like that too. So it's the reverse. It's the slip it's a slip that Versus created, and of course the artwork, but that's the original artwork right there. So that kind of tells you what you're,
That's cool.
what you're kind of getting into there. So
I love how over the top that artwork looks.
yeah, and but yeah, I do something like this into something geeky in our collection that I do with Jeffrey down there and Caveman Guy. We just go through like a sci-fi or Japanese animation film that we've watched, and then we go over the sci-fi nerdy, geeky, like sci-fi fantasy and Japanese animation stuff we have to watch, and I have a shitload of that because I'm a huge fan. This one I remember getting because I forgot which YouTuber I watched. It may have been in Praise for the Shadows. He did some great stuff, and I think he mentioned Visiting Hours and just how they show scenes from it and how sadistic and sleazy Michael Ironside looks in it. He's all sweaty with the slick back hair. I understand it's a slasher. I understand. I guess the woman was that she gets assaulted by him, and then he comes back and does the same thing. But all in the hospital. Bad Dreams. I heard Bad Dreams was a trip too, so it's a double feature. So I get to watch both.
Just to warn you though, Visiting Hours is sort of a slower burn. So just so you know, it doesn't move real fast.
Yeah,
a lot of people criticize it because it's a little slower, but I don't mind that. A lot of them were back in the day, and I like a story that develops.
Very good. Yeah. And now Russell says William Shatner in Visiting Hours. That's right. He is. He plays a reporter, I think. What I've seen.
So is Lee Grant from The Omen 2 and a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Not the real Rotten Dirt. Yeah. Very, very true. Not the one, because that's what Mr. Subjective Perspective Collective mentioned and stuff like that too. So. But yeah, not too bad. 3 films to watch, like I say, with the rest of the stuff I need to watch. And like I told the guys, it helps me from buying other shit that I don't need at the moment.
So I need to catch up on too. There's quite a few in here that I haven't seen yet. Just I think all of us just to get into collecting fall into that.
Yeah, exactly.
I swore I never would, but of course I started doing it too, just like all the rest of it.
Yeah, like I say, next time we all do this, plan it a bit more like I always do and stuff like that too. Yeah, just look at what you don't have, and you guys just bring out, like I said, it'd be 2 stacks of 5 for horror and then 1 for Giallo or anything else you want to put in there that's obscure or whatever like that, or freaky as this episode is called, you know what I mean? Which means basically kind of whatever you kind of want it to be. So it's like, I thought it's a good idea and stuff like that. And, I have my nice stacks over here, my nice shelvings, and it's like, why not, so. Like, it's very, very cool. It's all about the passion and just this awesome addiction that we have for physical media in the community. So, we're excited.
Took me a while to realize it's all about fun, but it clicked into me here a couple of months ago, and since then I've been much better, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we could just talk about this BS and all this stuff too. So, Gore, tell us what you have going on. So you have that video you did with Dirk, right, on A Clockwork Orange. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's my latest discussion that I fill the pics and the scenes and the music and do the whole 9 yards. But it takes me 2 or 3 days to edit. I've done Halloween with JT. I've done Last House on the Left with King Gore. I did Extras 3 with Juno. I've still got 1 or 2 that I haven't finished yet that I need to put out. And I'm doing one Sunday. I did Night Living Dead with Night Watch Zone. Sunday, matter of fact, Sunday I'm recording Dawn of the Dead with Night Watch Zone. So that will be the next one. We're doing the original 3 at least. And then other than that, Tuesday night I start the Extreme Theater back up again, except for it's going to be 11 instead of midnight. And it's going to be auditioned, and the week after that's going to be Possession. And I'm also somewhere going to start the round table again, except for I'm going to change the name. It's going to have a different name.
Yeah, I remember Keith, you and I, we did a while ago. I think it was like back in the summer. We did Return of the Living Dead.
I lost that one though. I lost 2 recordings. 2 of them got.
It's all good, man. I mean, look, the way I see it is, if you ever want to do that particular movie again, or if you want to do something else, just let me know.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, that's not the only one I lost. I lost a whole other one too that was really cool too. So that's like 4 hours of wasted lost time. But that shit happens sometimes when you do this. You pre-record and you edit and all this, especially when you don't know the apps yet. Now I know them, but at the time when I started doing these, I didn't know all the different shit. If you just hit the wrong thing, it's gone.
Right.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Shit happens, dude. I've done that. You know, actually, there's been times where I was like ready to punch a hole in my wall in my bedroom, to where it's like I just like, you know, like spend time on reviewing a movie and accidentally put it in the trash and then emptied the trash can. It was like, you motherfucker! Like,
or just didn't
I just
record
spent all this time on doing this and it's gone now. Like,
timestamp just stops at a certain time and you're like going, oh wait. Or it happened one time with me, Dirk and Darren on Dirk's channel and stuff like that. There was something in the trailer in the opening that he did and stuff like that where YouTube was like, no, you can't do that. So he had to do in one of his older intros. And I'm like, oh, so it just had to kind of reverse that up. So yeah, not too bad. A good quick 55 minutes and whatever like that. So close to a good hour. Yeah, it's all good. We like to keep it short and sweet here on the Slasher Dudes channel. Sean, you have anything else coming up, my friend? I know you do. I see your timestamps and all that stuff too, but
this Saturday is going to be the 40th anniversary for Stephen King's The Children of the Corn. We're going to do a watch party for that. But other than that, I just got to try to get caught up on some video work, just getting like, you know, just regular, you know, like collection update movie haul shit done. But other than that, just, yeah, it's always a struggle to find the time to like do things. Even when I schedule streams, sometimes I'm like, you know, I got this scheduled for that day, but now it's like, life gets in the way. Because, you know, it's, I always say like YouTube is not a priority. It's for our free time.
Yeah, it's for
we have to get our priorities out of the way first, and then we can attend to YouTube, you know?
Yep, exactly.
But nothing too serious really on the channel to really speak of. But yeah, the next watch party or stream on my channel will be this Saturday for Children of the Corn.
Very, very cool. Yeah, same thing. I have, Found Footage Friday coming up. I do have a Giallo Thoughts and Review coming up. That's going to be on Delirium, 1972's Delirium. I have thoughts about that. What the fuck, Giallo? Yeah, it's a lot of different things. I'll discuss it with you all after the stream ends. And then Found Footage Friday will probably be Horror in the High Desert, the second one. I kind of like the first one. The Horror in the High Desert's found footage ones. Those are on Tubi. Those are fun ones. They're different. I like them. And then Slasher Saturday. I'll have to figure something out for that one because I have a shitload of slashers to watch, as y'all well know. So it's like just keep on keeping on. We're doing something geeky tomorrow. My collection with Jeff, John Doe Juggalo down there in the chat. Unfortunately, Caveman can't make it. He's not feeling too hot, so get better guy, but he'll probably be in the chat for that. So we're doing the same thing kind of here, except with the geeky stuff. Going to be reviewing an anime film called Fireworks, which I like a lot. So I'll be discussing that with Jeff, and then we just get down to our stacks and what we watched and all that good stuff. So that's tomorrow at 5, probably Pacific Standard Time. So keeping me busy and all this other stuff too. And it's good to be back and all that other stuff. And I appreciate everybody in chat for joining. Thank you very much. Thank you all for picking these awesome films for me to watch and not giving me too much pain. Don't worry, I'll have some bad ones in the future for you all for me to watch and all this other stuff instead of me throwing it in the trash can. So, but yeah, and then, great, like I say, great film, The Black Cat. If you haven't checked it out, find it on streaming, check it out, watch the trailer. You'll be hooked on that. I'm Chris C, the Slasher Dude. That's Gorophobe. That's Sean, aka Cinephile Sanity. Gorophobe, go ahead and send us off with your great catch line that you have.
Because that is Sean from Cinephile Sanity. That is Chris from Chris C, the Slasher Dude. And I am Gorophobe, and you motherfuckers are not.
Don't go in the cemetery with the black